My Peloton epiphany, songs for every mood, and finding joy in small things. All this and more in today's Brilliant Observations. Do, 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 do. I thought you were going to do that with me.
No.
I thought you were going to do it with me.
I will not do it. Yeah, okay.
I will not be joining in your reindeer games.
We sure don't. Yeah.
So, hey, Amy, how are you?
Hi, Melissa. I'm okay.
Did you just Simpsons me with my
Didn't
name?
mean to. Just happened. It's the way,
loved
it's the way
it.
it goes. It's the way it goes.
Can you do it again?
Nope.
Oh, my God, I loved it.
Ask me to do something, I won't do it. That's how it works. That's me.
Okay, you and my kids.
In
And
a
sometimes
nutshell.
my husband.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. That's
Tell me
common
it's
with
not what
me.
you want. You'll get 15 of them.
So,
No, not always. Sometimes.
rumor has it that you're down one kid.
Fuckity fuck. We just delivered him back to the university.
Take two.
Sad. Yeah, it was super sad.
Was it?
Well, it was. It absolutely was. Trying to compare it to something, really can't. I didn't do anything to prepare him for this semester, which was tough.
As opposed to last semester when he said, leave me the fuck alone. I don't want you to do anything to prepare me. I got this. Don't get me a sheet. Don't get me a rug. Don't get me a sweater.
Well,
Don't get me...
he did actually have a lot of questions, and he was sort of grateful for the extra. And did you think of this? And did you think of that? But I didn't do any. Here's what I mean. I didn't prepare. I didn't check his bags. I didn't follow back up and check on anything. 4 days ago, I happened to peek. We share access to an online portal that tells you all the information that you would need: his schedule, his grades, his bills, his medical, all the stuff is there. I popped on to make sure that there were no outstanding fees, and the fees looked different to me. And I thought, well, first of all, we've kind of paid it, but also, why is it markedly less than I thought it would be? I see why. Because you're only enrolled part-time. Huh? So, yeah, he had a total of 10, maybe it was 12, 10 or 12 credits, not what we had talked about. So I queried him. There's a disparity here.
Yeah,
and
what's up?
He sort of immediately went in, straight to hyperspace. No, that's not what it's supposed to be. Those aren't even my classes. I don't even understand. And so I said, okay, why don't you contact your advisor? Let me know how it works out. If there's a change in the bill, I'll change it. Just didn't even get involved in any way.
Right, because you're a little man now and you take care of your own shit.
It was as simple as he had registered for all the proper classes and the advisor, frankly, gets involved and says, here's what you're taking, take it. It's not even like he had made this mistake. The schedule had made its own mistake, placed him into 2 simultaneous classes, and when there was a conflict, the system said "Brrr," and just
took
canceled
him out of one.
Yeah, and just canceled one. So he went back and moved everything around, and they found lots of kids in this situation and opened a new segment, and it's all solved, right? But between that,
he's been there 8 minutes, and it's already solved.
They've changed. Well, this was a couple days ago. They changed the way the meal plans work. They are continuously updating and changing and evolving and revising the COVID plan. So everything's kind of fluid. So you just sort of okay, that's what we're doing today. Got it. Great. Oh, can't do that today? Fine. We'll do the next one. So that's how it is. Dropped
My
him
niece
off.
had that
We're done.
too.
Yeah.
My niece had that too. She couldn't go and sit in a cafeteria and eat all you can eat, whatever. They box shit up. You walk in, you pick up a box, you walk out. So how can they charge you the same price for here's your box, bye-bye, as they can for belly up to the trough, my friends.
And they do all sorts of different things, like based on the census of this part of campus, we're not even going to open this dining hall. So you've got to, lots of that, blah-de-hotty-hotty. So who cares? But anyway, got rolled in. He immediately took his COVID test upon arriving on campus. We'll let you know if we're going to boot your ass out. Have fun. That's it. Bye. Carried up his 4.5 bags. And he sort of stood there looking at us like, you can leave any time.
Oh,
so
honey.
don't you want to change
Thanks.
these? Don't you want to change this furniture around? Don't you want to? Is there anything? I don't need anything. We're good. Goodbye.
Don't you want to go out for a meal before we leave?
Goodbye. And I've already made plans. Plans. Get out.
All right. All right, son. I love you too. Let's start there.
Well, this time he took his guitar with him, one of the guitars. So we'll see what's happening. Evidently, he's going to be learning guitar in addition to fucking up his schedule and not eating. We'll see. He's not done. Eating. He's gone.
Not eating.
It will be what it will be. We will see. Oh, my Lord. But yes, classes for him in person, in the studio.
Wow.
They're going to do it again. We're trying again. So
Great. I love that. As long as, they're taking those precautions and testing and breaking up the dining hall as if it were like a crime family. They're busting up the dining hall and it's what they do. So let's let them do what they do.
That just happened today. So it's a little bit on my mind, but what's going on with you? Catch me up. Tell me.
Ooh, I'd love to just say nothing and hit stop and then just go back to our days. Part of me, we're recording a little later than we normally do. And by this time of day, I'm quite lethargic and needing of a nap. So I will tell you that I had an epiphany this week.
Wow.
And it had to do with Peloton.
Oh, Lord, there's more?
I had an epiphany.
Epiphanies? I thought that you had all that you could have simply by clipping in today.
You're so cute. You love that.
Atta girl.
I did clip in today. Twice, actually. So
fucking tastic.
So, you know how Mallory and I get different feeds on TikTok, and I don't get a fucking blackhead squirting shit.
That's
like
why
you
I
do.
don't TikTok. Yes.
Right. But you can fix that. But okay. So I don't get any of that nonsense. We have a very different spiral feed that we go down, and it's great. Well, Peloton being a cult is very similar. There are people who go on Peloton who get like exercise and adrenaline like we discussed last week. That's not me.
Right.
I do not get that. But what I get is very different. I get therapy.
Indeed.
I get 3 or 4 different coaches who speak to my hate soul, the soul inside of me that is just gray and dark and it's really chipping away at the negativity and all of that stuff that about which I am not proud, and it really chips away at it with the way they coach. And one of the coaches last week said, there are people out there who hate for no reason. And I think we can all agree.
It's you, Melissa.
People hate for no reason. And she said, I don't actually, but
I was a joke. I know.
I know,
cheap shot.
but
Not even real. Keep going.
She said, why can't we choose to love for no reason?
Yeah. It's a good
And
one.
I was like, what? What is this strange creature?
That's right.
Who I totally also judged. And this is kind of part of what she was saying to me. She's like 5'8", gorgeous red hair, just tits on a stick. She's got an enormous rack and nothing to hold it up. She is Barbie. She's like this act of I can't even imagine the physics behind holding her up. So I'm like, I'm not taking a class with that bitch. Like I had that grayness inside.
Indeed.
And
why do we hate for no reason? It's not for no reason. I hate for tits on a stick. There's my reason.
I prejudged. So I clipped into this ride because the music was supposed to be like that's what also sang to my soul. So I put the music on and I put her on and she blew me away. Like she was amazing and kind and not in a way where you wanted to punch. Her voice is a little annoying, but not in a way where you wanted to kill her. I don't know. I mean, for me, it's therapy. For me, it's the, what's that, magic eraser? It's the magic eraser on the grayness of my soul. So these few coaches are really taking that magic eraser and they are scrubbing the stained wall that is my soul and heart, and they are cleaning me up nice. So
wow,
no, I'm
really
not dropping
some fantastic imagery for the depths of your soul.
I'm here for you today.
Shit ball fire.
I'm here for
nutstick.
you.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have to say I'm not in it even anymore for looking for that adrenaline rush. I'm not in it anymore.
Well, they mentioned you on the Today Show this past week. Carson Daly is on the Today Show. He is super up on Peloton, evidently. He was doing a ride, and they did a whole profile on one particular coach for the very reasons that you're talking about.
Really?
Yes, I made note at the time and then did not to keep track of who the guy is so that I could bring it here and tell you about it.
It's Cody. If it's a guy, it's Cody.
It is a guy. It's a black dude. Is Cody black?
No, but I took Alex.
I took
a ride with him this morning. Was he military?
I don't remember.
Chiseled out of granite?
Oh no, I mean he was fit. So they did a live ride like on Instagram so you could watch, and the whole time Carson's like panting and looked like he's gonna have a stroke, and the other guy's going.
He's very
and
doughy.
It's just the sweat's dripping off. It's like he had a bad Subway ride after some spoiled sushi. It was not a good thing to watch.
Spoiled sushi.
So the other guy's like, hey, whatever, woo! And then he's this white guy's like, and the feet are just going in a circle. And the cutest part about the whole, so he's talking about how transformative this person was for the very reasons that you've mentioned. It's a mind ride. It's not just the physical. Super love that. Very excited to see it happen and to know that there's lots of people connecting. My favorite part of Carson's ride was at the very end. His wife came in with some brownies she made, and she gave him one while he was still pedaling and stuck it in his face. So he was on camera, being filmed, chewing, sweating, and he's like, brownies.
Sweating. You know what? He, too, obviously doesn't do it for the exercise and the weight loss. He, too, needed the therapy.
Yeah, balance. Yeah, they have 4 kids. Give him a fucking brownie. Okay.
Yeah, I don't see anything appealing about Carson Daly. I never did. He's kind of the whitest, drippiest, doughiest ick that I thought.
He's really great. I love him. I never saw him in the MTV suck my neck, whatever the idiot shows are that he was in. No, none of that. So I have none of this association with him. He sort of showed up on the Today Show and I was like, yeah, weren't you the has-been I ignored 20 years ago? So here he is on the Today Show. He's really genuine. He is self-effacing. He talks about I battle with anxiety. I never thought that this would be something that I have. I didn't even know what it was. Let me describe it to you. Mental health. He likes golf. I mean, that I hate. But everything else, he's super funny. He'll crack wise and make some jokes right at the right time, and it's the sort of thing where if they had enough speed, they would have censored it out. Like it's cute stuff like that. And he often shows up late and fucked up, and they're trying to button his shirt up.
I like him more already.
He just talks, and you can tell he's totally off prompter, and they're all looking at him like, we're actually news people with degrees. They're lawyers. All of them have these professions. Yeah. And so he's coming in there like, hey, man.
I'm a crackhead.
He absolutely knows it. Yeah. He's like, I know I don't belong here and aren't I grateful? Where's them brownies at? Yeah. Yeah. So
I appreciate him more now.
So if he was a crazy McDouche, I'll knock him down about 6 pegs. But he's clawed his way back up.
All right. I appreciate him talking about any struggles that he's had because it seemed like everything, like he failed up throughout his whole career. And I was like, dude, you are this. I kind of feel the same way about Ryan Seacrest. And the difference I feel are the hours that Ryan Seacrest puts in. Like, it's like asking every girl out at the bar. Someone is bound to say yes. If you put 100% of your time into FaceTime on TV, something's going to be successful and it's
Ryan
going to grow.
Seacrest and Carson Daly could not be further apart. And I know this because I know neither of them at all. And here's what I can tell you. Ryan Seacrest is all about the cheese. He's all about what's the tally on Instagram, what's the move, what's the popular
Carson
way.
Daly's not like that?
No. I'm sure he appreciates it, but at the same time, he's authentic in this way. He had his kid during quarantine. When everybody had to, during quarantine, like we're not fucking out of it. When they first started doing all of these shows remote and everyone did them so poorly, he was doing it from his house somewhere in Long Island. And the kids are with him. He had one of his kids. He had one of his kids who he called the graphics department. And he had his kid draw pictures and print out shit on the computer. Totally not good, and stand there and hold it in the shot. So you see this little kid's hand, and then the kid would like drop these 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper when it was time for him to flip through. And it was super. And they got him a credit on the show, and they would like talk. It was just that's fucking
cute.
fun. That's fucking fun. So
that's cute.
Ryan Seacrest is not doing that shit. He's showing up to work with COVID, with a stroke, laying down on the thing, pretending. He's no good. I'm sure he's great. Stay away from me. That's not good.
So I'm just letting you know the Peloton's not just for athletes or people with athletic backs. Let's be realistic. I'm not an athlete. I just wear the back. I just want to be clear.
Yes.
So yesterday, my husband came home from work he goes to work super dapper. He has these head covers that hold back his hair is kind of longer. So he wears a surgical cap, and he has scrubs on that have his name and specialty embroidered on them, and they're sharp as fuck. They're really nice. He comes home I don't see him anymore when he comes home because he goes right to the basement to shower, and he comes up all showered and clean and COVID free. Yay! But yesterday he came home and I saw him walking across the backyard to go to the basement, and he was in like neon green, tealish scrubs.
Oh, shit.
And I was like,
disaster.
I'm like, uh-oh.
That's a bile incident.
That's it. That's definitely an incident. That's exactly what I assumed, that he's had that before. He's ruined a pair of sneakers. He doesn't wear sneakers anymore to work, but he's pulled out a tube and bile all over. This time, yesterday, he like came, and I kind of forgot that I saw it because I laughed out loud when I saw him like neat go by. So I'm upstairs. It's not like he works till 11 at night. So he goes down there at 11:15. He showers, doesn't come up till almost midnight. And I'm trying to, all right, guys, don't be grossed out when I tell you that my husband says to me, "Want to pee on me?"
You won't be the first today.
That's exactly what he said. You won't be the first today. I'm like, oh my God, what the hell happened to you?
Oh, yeah. I don't understand that interest.
If you've ever wanted to pee on me, now's your shot, because it's already happened to me once today, and it's just the way my day's gone. So if you're ready, I'm ready. And I thought, first of all, second of all, ew.
Yeah, no.
Ew. What is the appeal of bodily fluids?
I don't even understand it. I can't even physically get there. I don't have any idea. We were talking about this last week. One of the weeks, conflating sex and pooping. They're both not things that I want to see from other people.
Yeah, you got some support on our social media. You
got
some support.
That's right. I did. Stand vindicated. I'm just trying to say, I don't, go to the bathroom beforehand. I don't need to make it part of what we're doing.
I don't get it.
And I'm here to tell you, I completely support people doing healthy, consensual things. Go for it. I also have to say, I'm a judge you. No. I'm a judge you on this one. This one's kind of, I also kind of have a problem with like food and sex. That's a little bit, what are you doing? Stop it. It's just kind of.
Well, food is delicious and sex is delicious, so I could see that. But I don't understand the waste issue. Look, my body doesn't need any of these ingredients. I'm going to shit or piss them out. Here, come closer. No, that is a private activity that has nothing to do with pleasure.
I guess. I completely agree with that. I'm just no. I'm hung up on the food thing. When you said the waste issue, I thought you were going to go down the road of because that's wasteful for the food. And then I thought you meant waste, like your waistline. I really got a little lost. I'm not a very bright gal. So here I'm back to, yes, I completely agree. No, yellow or brown. What do they call it? Water sports? Yeah, no water sports.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, I think that's what you call the
Excuse me.
But I'm also, do you really need to cover somebody with whipped cream and have that whole thing? It's like, first of all, that's a lot of whipped cream. And second, what? It's not.
What if you just squirt it as you go? What if you don't cover someone's body? What if it's just like
it holds zero appeal? Yeah, fine. I'll pretend that there's a Hollywood crew here and that this is really sexy. It seems stupid, and it just doesn't even. Does that seem like that would be
what I don't like about it is that it's messy. And where are you doing this? Did you put towels down? Did you?
No, I love messy. It's fucking food. If I'm going to eat, here's the thing. Eating can approximate. It can't, but it's very, very, it's in the same. I'm trying to come up with an analogy that says, eating is just as good as sex. It's not. But eating's pretty fucking damn good all by itself. Adding sex to it doesn't doesn't magnify it in some way that makes it that much better. They don't sort of add together. It's just weird.
Well, I think when you say food, I got the picture of 9.5 weeks, and that's not for me either. But if you're thinking like Ready Whip or chocolate syrup, like that to just initiate a little more mouth on wherever contact, this is really getting a little. It's getting kind of hectic.
You're getting an epiphany. You're having another clip.
No, but I'm thinking that's fine. I also don't want to feel full when having sex. So I'm not having a 3-course meal off your belly and then like that's not going to happen.
Yeah, and it's like there was a Sex in the City episode one time where Samantha puts together she spends the whole time making the sushi and then makes herself the sushi board, and I'm like,
and lays there forever.
Why? Right. Also, it's stinky. It's like gross. Hot fish. Come on. No.
Well, he was also super late. Had he been on time, maybe it would have been a different scene.
I went to a club one time, and a club is an overstatement, where part of the weird decor is they had these nude models who were covered strategically with food on the buffet, and you're supposed to go eat the food off the models in fucking public, getting cocktails.
Disgusting. You mean somebody that didn't just shower
to
have sex with you?
Gross. I just couldn't even... What? Okay.
Yeah, I don't get that either.
All right,
I really don't.
So we agree. We're not going to do that. Don't do that.
We are not going to be the sushi board. And Good. As far as the latest list of I want to be the kind of person who, I don't want to be the kind of person who pees on you or gets peed on for fuck's sake.
Or has, uncooked fish served
correct
from my skin. Gross.
Absolutely correct. I do, however, want to be the kind of person who... Here's Missy's new segment. So our friend Sarah said, I think we're going to go skiing today. We've got a go bag. Let's go. And scooped her whole family up. And they just went skiing. Well,
she has a go bag, yeah.
She probably has a go bag for a couple of things. That's the second part of the issue. One, I want to be the kind of person who could just grab that. I mean, I have a bag for my kids' ski stuff and they can grab and go. But I want to be the kind of person who enjoyed activities.
Look, go bags are unrealistic. Before we get into the person who, go bags are super unrealistic. They're a real problem for me every time I watch fiction that involves this go bag, when magically people are arriving and you have been dormant you've been a sleeper cell for a decade, but your go bag is ready. Those are not the same shoes that fit you. Those pants don't fit you.
Those granola bars are stale.
There aren't any in there because you ate them 2 months ago when you were like, "Where's the fucking?" I'm eating them out of the damn.
When you were hiding from the children in the garage,
or you forgot where you put the fucking go bag because it's been that long. It's just they don't work. They're not. It's not a thing. That's not a thing. So
there goes the second half of my thing where I would ask you, what would you need a go bag to do?
I need a lot of go bags. I think the kind of person who is one who can assemble a go bag.
Or spontaneously fun is kind of what I was regretting
not
being.
Well, you're spontaneously fun, aren't you?
Yeah, if you like brownies or chocolate chip banana bread, I'll spontaneously whip up a batch of whatever you want.
I push back.
Push me.
Is there anything that you have been ever asked on the finger snap where you said, what? No. When everybody's like,
skiing.
Let's go rob the bank. Woo! And then we're all in the car. There's nothing you've said no to.
Oh, I say no to everything. And my family will tell you that's my first answer, but I can be won over. Like, I just need a little time.
I don't listen to you when you say no. So that's why I think you don't actually say it.
I appreciate the fact that somebody else has done all the thought and planning when I'm approached with, let's go do this. To me, in my head, that means, oh, well, you've got this all figured out. All I need to do is come along for the ride. And that, yes, I'm always game to do. I prefer not peeing and not robbing a bank as your last exam.
Yeah, well, none of that is what we're talking about. What we're talking about is none of us have a plan. We have an action, and we're doing it now. And the answer is yes, I'm in. That's you.
Not so much.
You won't say no. You won't like it.
Give me an example. I say no to everything.
We're going to New York right now.
Oh yeah, I'm in. That's different.
And we're gonna buy tickets to whatever show is happening tonight, and we're going.
Yes, you're swinging right up my alley.
We're going to Atlantic City right now, and we're each gonna gamble whatever we have in our checking account right now. Let's go.
No, thank you.
I'll stand there and watch. I'll eat a hot dog. I'll eat a pretzel. You're fucking going.
Yeah,
you are fucking going.
But I'm not gambling. But I'll
But
go.
you're not.
Yes,
but you're
of
not
course
missing
I'll
it.
go.
But you're not missing it.
Oh, no, I'm not missing it.
I can't
won't
think
miss
of a
it.
single thing that we would do or have done where you would self-select out. You may
No.
not have the bag ready. You may not be comfortable with it. You don't need a bag.
Right. And when it comes to, we're all camping here, I'm like, yes, I am going to get a hotel right by where you're camping. I will be staying right next to you because I need a toilet moving on.
You have said no to the wild earth adventures where you won't go outside unless there's, plumbing and electrical.
So
you know.
bitchy.
You won't go running
So
water.
bitchy.
Yeah. We just sort of traipse into the woods. There's
Plumbing,
somebody's got a
electrical.
boat. There's a boat. That's enough.
I'll go on a boat.
There's a shelter. There's a lean-to.
I'll lean into that too
There's
until
an
it's time to
outhouse.
go
Yeah.
back to the hotel. I'll even sit in your yurt with you, but I'm going directly back without passing go to.
Yeah, I'm not rock climbing. I'm super not going to speak. Getting back to Sarah, I'm not rock climbing. I don't even understand how her daughter, who is arguably a world-class rock climber,
fucking ninja. Yeah.
Yeah. So in a special rock climbing and also academics school, like when they're so talented, they're leading with the thing that they're going to fucking go do. So she's got it going on. They definitely are the outdoorsies. We're not.
Yeah.
I'm not
I'm
that
more
person.
indoorsy. I think I have 2 sweatshirts that literally say indoorsy. So it's got to be true if my clothes state it.
I agree. But I think you are the kind of person who, I think go bags are overrated.
And
I think
probably you're right. You've had them so long, by the time you get to use them, they're outdated.
Well, we have the inverse of a go bag. We have the apocalypse bunker, and we have a good friend who is super buttoned up and always has those. And God bless her, will regularly go through and eat the food right at the time of spoilage. Yeah.
You mean she's not like Dina? She won't eat a can.
That is
of
Dina. No,
gefilte
that's
fish?
Dina. They'll have a party when the food is ready to be replaced because there was no apocalypse that required it. Yay. So let's eat the whatever's in the bags. And then they'll go through and they'll eat all that weird food that they had bought
The
instead of like
12-year-old can
throwing
of
it
gefilte
out.
fish. Oh, it's awful.
They'll eat it right before it spoils or within the cusp of spoilage.
Way after.
Yeah.
And way
Well,
after.
I mean, I feel like we're also talking about someone who is willing to eat gefilte fish. I was going to say from a can, but you sort of start there and you're done.
Yeah.
If you're willing to eat a fish meatball soaking in liquid.
This one was in gel. It was so gross. I watched
Buffet
it. I had
size.
to look away.
Yeah.
So
Took
gross.
a can opener about 30 seconds to make the rim of that job.
Ugh, so gross. How's your sourdough starter going? Has that made any progress?
I want to be the kind of person who
Yeah.
can make sourdough starter. And I'm not that
still no?
person. So I haven't given up on this fucking little house on the prairie con job. Shit is so for the fucking birds. It's still hustling. I almost ruined it completely because it was just not taking off. And I thought, you need a little more heat.
Don't you have somebody down there who has starter that they can break
You
off?
could buy
and
it at
give
the fucking store. And I could also buy the bread. This is not a necessary item. Okay, there's no need for this fucking waste
Don't
of my
they
fucking
sell
time.
sourdough bread?
Let me just help you understand why.
Help me
Why I
understand.
want to be the kind of person who can make sourdough starter, first of all, for the sake of it, and it's a little bit like it's exactly like gardening. It's exactly like exercise, like learning a musical instrument, like math. You have to do a little bit each time, and the next day builds on what you learned the day before. And it's if you stop doing it, did I know French before? Out the head it goes. Sourdough starter, you got to dick with it at this point twice a day, every day, until it sort of takes off into a bubbling mass. Well, every time I seem to, it took a really long time to get there. And when it finally got where it was almost time to put it in the fridge where you can leave it alone for weeks at a time, that's when I decided to accidentally fucking ruin it. Because I really wanted to make sure the last few stages of going through the motions of doing this, you're really sort of checking and making sure that the thing is strong enough that you're making a replacement for yeast. So if it's not strong enough, it's not going to leaven anything. It's not going to rise at all. So you have to sort of proof it, make sure that the thing is working before you leave it alone that it's strong enough. And it was kind of sluggish. And everything said you could try, increasing just the heat just a little bit by these various methods. I moved it closer to the stove. It was very close to the stove, as in on the counter next to the stove. And then we made pizzas. And I totally forgot that the amount of heat coming off a 560-degree stove right next to the counter is still going to be too hot for the starter. So the top of it started to get almost a little bit cooked. I caught it in time. I split it in half. I scraped out. I started again. It's back to doing what it's supposed to be fucking doing. But it set me back days, and I'm still wasting. You waste so much. You throw out more than half of it every single time you dick with it, and you dick with it twice a day. So you're going through like 3/4 of a bag of flour just to come up with this ounces of this horse shit that'll live forever.
Good thing you're not starving, right? Good thing.
Well, that's why I never. Honestly, I wanted to start it in the beginning of the end times, and I didn't because we didn't have enough flour for me to waste it throwing it out. And I was like, I don't know how these people are making fucking sourdough starter. I'm making bread with my damn shit.
They say that sourdough is so 2020. And next week, I'm going to have a list of things for you that are the trends of 2021. But you will notice that the sourdough is so 2020.
Well, I missed it then, and I'm sort of culinarily interested in trying to do it, and I'm almost at the end of it. So it's the kind of thing. I've done it once. It's like the marathon. I've
totally popular for 2021. Just one thing, Bridgerton.
Oh my God, I took your advice. I finally took your advice. Because you remember I tried to start the damn thing.
And you couldn't. Punch yourself in the leg. Sit through it, bitch. You got this.
I think really it had more to do with I must have been just extraordinarily tired. And it's also, in this house, it has to be at a moment when no one else is really around because they're not interested in doing it. So that a lot of times that's late at night, on and on. Happened to be I had a late afternoon where everybody was, I don't know where they were, preoccupied with something. It just worked out. I started the damn thing. Oh, my Lord.
How many times have you seen it?
Twice.
Yeah. It's
fully
good.
fully through twice. And I will watch it now a third time because I think my husband will actually like it. And he said, and I quote, yeah, that looked pretty good, which is stunning to hear him say it.
Because nothing was racing anywhere.
Well,
and there was
it's not. It's just, it's written in such a way where the gears kind of suck you in and it's totally fluffy and you're not going to learn anything, but
you're not in danger of learning anything.
No, it's just but you're interested in solving this riddle that you solved in the first scene and then spend the whole 8 episodes convincing yourself that you were wrong, but actually you were right the whole fucking time since the very first scene because you saw it coming. I mean, it's a fun little romp and you do get involved with the characters who are in it, which is vastly different than my experience with a little something that the rest of the world calls Grey's Anatomy.
You're hating it?
No, I actually hate Meredith Grey with a red hot passion. I don't know how she got that job, meaning as the actress. She's so weird to look at. It's very distracting to watch. I had no idea there were so many famous people on this show. All these people who I was like, wait a minute, what are you doing on this thing? Is this where you got your start? Carson Daly? Like, I don't know. I didn't know any of this.
Daly.
Yeah, I didn't know any of this stuff. It has that same sort of poppy. It's very well written, but it's also transparent. You can tell exactly what they're loading up, what they're getting ready to do. But in the same way that I used to really like House, I really liked.
Loved
I really
House.
used to like Sherlock, I think it was called.
Mm-hmm.
You knew what was happening. That one I adore. That one was actually really smart. The one on CBS, whatever it was called.
With Lisa Liu or
None of those. That's the one that I would watch with Jimmy. His name is Jimmy John. The one that makes the sandwiches and solves crime. I would watch it with him. Johnny John.
Yes, it's a Johnny.
Johnny was not the name.
Okay, but dear listener, you know who the fuck she's talking about.
So
Don't
I would
give us
watch
a hard
that stupid
time.
show, and my husband would make fun of me because he was like, this was before we would watch with closed captioning on all the time. Now I have it on all the fucking time, unabashedly. Before he'd be like, do you want me to turn on the closed captioning? Because I would turn it up really fucking loud because I can never really hear. So I'm watching CBS with this ham-handed dialogue, this ridiculously stupid on-the-nose show, but it still kind of wasn't really on the nose. Anyway, so Bridgerton, a little bit like that, but also just a absolute candy box, right? of color and fun, and the
But you
music.
love it.
They do pop music, but then they have the chamber
strings.
So that is there's just fun little nods all the way through the damn thing, and it's really pretty and fun and engaging to watch. I say. So yes,
we say yay. So get out
we
there.
say yay, Bridgertonians.
We say yay.
It is the one.
And those songs really do. Like when you
It's
catch
so
the song
cool.
they're playing, you're like, oh my God, it's perfect. And that leads me to song for every mood.
Well, that's what was so wild about all this. I have been trying to find music that iTunes has screwed me out of yet again, because everybody hates iTunes. #hate iTunes. And I won't leave it because it has too much of my own content on there from a million years of making music. And it's a horrible sadness that we can never get divorced. And I just pray for it every day. iTunes sucks.
Oh my God.
So, as does everybody knows. So, but I don't like Spotify. Finally said, fuck it. I need some new stuff. My friend Larry couldn't handle posting. He's a really big political comment. He loves commenting on the political stuff. He finally took a step back and he was like, I'm going to post some music. Started posting new finds that he had in 2020. They were really cool. They were really groovy. I went over to Spotify to listen. And then through some twist of fate, I realized that on Spotify, you can search by category, search by mood, the way that you always do. It'll show big laundry lists of similar songs to the one you just picked. And it's not so much a you might also like. It's the widest possible range. It's almost like pop-up video. Do you remember that?
Sure.
Where it would like jump to these, if the song had the word pickle in the title, here's others. It could be from every genre. So it's not like they're very similar. It was like a weird amalgam of how they got this stuff in there. And I started making a playlist and I adore it. So this playlist, I went through looking at these random selections, and I would add to the playlist based on whether I liked the cover art, or if the name of the song sounded fun, or if it related to something that I was doing at that very moment. I mean, I did this for a good 25 minutes, and I have this huge long playlist, which is all based on this led to that, led to this, means to nothing.
Yeah.
And the logic is like QAnon on crack. There is
Oh,
no
great.
connection as to how this shit happened. It is the best, most delightful, fantastic, moody, relaxing, chill, uplifting, twinkly, extraordinarily eclectic. I am so happy. I'm going to do this forever. It's the same as doing the you might also like, but going 6 deep. And then you discover something
is this
new.
on Spotify?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's where I put
you
mine.
can share your Spotify.
Oh, okay.
You can
Well,
share
I was
that.
just, I'll happily share it. My point is anybody could and should do this. You just go and you wander through based on yep, nope, yep. And it's almost like being in a foreign land and going through the supermarket and buying food. You don't even know what the food is, but deciding you're going to taste it based on the packaging or the shape or the head or whatever. It's just fucking cool.
I do that with wine.
Yeah.
I do that with wine if I like the label, the bottle, something about it. But also, we get that snack crate that I got Mallory for her birthday last year, Chris, whatever. So when that comes, it comes from another country. And when it gets here, after it's been quarantined forever, when it finally gets here, we open it up and we're like, oh, well, I've never heard of this. I've never tried that. I'm like, that's the fucking point. That you've never had it, you've never heard of it, you've never tried it. Let's try it. But I wouldn't eat something that has wasabi flavor with like, you don't know. Like, first of all, how did you even get wasabi out of that label? It is not in English. You have no idea what's in this. Let's try it. Let's experiment when you're trying not to eat carbs and this whole thing comes in. You're like, okay, let's do it.
Except for right now.
So much for that.
No, but it's just to be open to it. And frankly, it's not something that I typically do or can remember doing with music. So it just felt really exciting and fresh and a new way to stumble into something because it also worked. It's one thing to say, let's try all these candies, because at the end of the day, they're still candy, as opposed to what I often do and fail miserably is say, I'll try the most popular thing on this grungy, street side, and you end up eating a tongue sandwich and things like this, where it's, I won't be doing that again.
I grew up on tongue. I mean, I didn't eat it, but my mother ate it as a wild delicacy. She fucking loved it. And I thought, oh, I wonder why it's called tongue. And then at the ripe old age of 6, I went to the deli with her, and there it was in its full form in the case. And I was like, That looks like, because we had just gone to the farm the week before. And we just watched milking of cows and a cow tongue. And there it is. And bleh, again, pee on me, cow tongue, anything else that we can use to make them vomit today.
Not good. Just not good. Don't eat it.
I feel like when you say, I'd like to speak to the manager, that you had a Karen moment this week. And it makes me a little nervous because that's not who you are. We've discussed how
I had another, I'd like to speak to the manager moment. And it is very similar to my Spotify, look at how fabulous these things are moment. So I was going through the checkout at the supermarket, the normal supermarket, not even the shishi fancy one. And I was, of course, buying Honeycrisp apples, which I always do. Don't know if you're a fan or familiar with the Honeycrisp apple.
We are fans here.
They are gigantic and extremely overpriced. Some stores price them by the apple. Others price them by the pound. It's ridiculous. You end up paying $13 for like an apple. They're just stupidly overpriced. They also bruise really easily. So that's the beginning of the produce tales. I'm that person who buys produce that no one at the checkout counter has ever encountered before. Most of the time, I know the codes that they don't know. I can find them in their little spinning dial, or
Rolodex,
sometimes they turn the computer so I can tap the screen and say, it's that one, or I'll spell it out for them because they don't know. They can't even look up the peppers. They just don't. I'm not buying crazy things.
Right.
They just can't seem, they're like, what's that? Is that a vegetable? Like they just can't seem to figure out. Yeah. So, and this is just, people don't buy a lot of produce, I guess. So I have massive amounts of produce coming through, including these tender apples, including the pears that, you basically look at them and now they're bruised and you can't eat the whole half side of the damn pear. So it's always sort of a crapshoot when you're getting them from the cart, and the person who is really efficient and moving really fast is also moving your produce so fast that they're just damaging the stuff that you've coddled to get this far. So this woman, young girl, right? Old enough to be a woman, but who knows how old she was, but she was definitely, you'd still maybe call her a girl. She was a miss. She was not a missus.
Okay.
So she's there and she's smiling. She's hustling. She's laughing. The place is a zoo. I think it was either snowing or raining. It was really crazy, really shitty. And she was just above it and buoyant and moving really quick and moving really efficiently and doing everything right and anticipating everything properly. She just did a really fucking good job at this ordinary job, right? Right down to the apples. She moved those so fucking fast, but expertly put them in. They were just perfect. They were all preserved. And I was very happy. And somebody interrupted her in the middle with like a headache. I don't even remember what it is now, but it was something that normally would have pulled somebody else off their game. And she was just like, yes, I'm aware. Like you could tell this was a super shitty day for a lot of reasons. And she still was sort of like, and we're not going to worry about the super shitty day. Going to save those apples. Let's keep going. She just did it. So at the end of the thing, I thought, you know what? I know what to do. Thank you so much. And we're all good. Great. I know what to do here. So I walked over to the counter where they have they have the buy the cigarettes and get the lotto tickets and what else are they doing over there except solving your problems. So I come over and I wait. And sure enough, because they were short-staffed, she comes over to the fucking counter.
No way.
And she said, did you need something? Thinking I'm buying cigarettes, right? And I said, well, I was hoping to speak to the manager. And she goes, oh. And I said, because I wanted to pay you a compliment. So are you going to tell me you're the manager? And she starts laughing. And she goes, no, I'm not the manager. And another woman came by, the one with the headache, that gave her the headache.
Yeah.
And I said, and I pointed and got ready to say, like, is it her? And she makes these big eyes and she looks and she starts shaking her head. No. So I just closed my mouth. And then this woman goes, I'll help her. You can go back to the register. And I go, I need to talk to the manager. Then this person pages Lonnie or whoever the fuck it's, I don't remember who it is, right? Kevin. And of course, he's not coming and he's not coming. So now this wonderful, blissful experience where I just want to leave a tip.
Your
now
ice
I'm
cream
standing there.
It was melting.
But I mean, honestly, it was easily 2 minutes. And if you've ever ridden a Peloton, 2 minutes is a long fucking time.
It could hurt.
So I'm standing there. People are making all the way through the lane, right? Gradually, Kevin comes walking over, or whoever the fuck he is, wiping his hands. He was in the deli. So he comes over. I explain the whole thing. I give her the big haha. And he's looking at me like, what?
So what do you want?
What? You're being nice?
I'm
something
waiting
nice,
to
something
give you a
nice
gift
happened.
card.
This girl did something good. Great. I'm going to go back and cut some beef tongue. Like, it was a total anticlimactic thing.
Do you have any flair that you could give her for
it
her
was
vest?
just so embarrassing because here I wanted to do this secret shopper good job gold star, and meanwhile, can you cut out the gold star and give it to yourself? Like, it was just so awful that she had to come over. But in the end, job done. I had a reverse Karen.
You were a reverse Karen. I took my one outing to the Amish Market this week.
Yes.
And this is after I had that epiphany on the bike. I'm like, you know what? This is fucking therapy for me. I should do it twice a day. I have a headache. Let me go get on that bike. This is really the answer. These people are the answer. So I go to the Amish Market and I see the same guy there every week. He's got the big white beard just under his chin, not across the front of his face. He's got a mask on, and he knows me and I know him, and he's like, "Hey, it's good to see you. How are you? How is everything?" And I said, I'm here again. Everything's we're all still here. I said, you have to find joy in the small things. And he put down my coleslaw and he said, "You know what? You're right.
I quit."
Oh my God. I told you last time, it's his wife and his daughter and his other daughter and his other wife and his other daughter and his other wife. So if he had said that would have been the funniest shit in the world. But he's like, you're absolutely right. Finding joy in the small things. And we just had this moment after my epiphany, and the woman next to me goes, "And in Jesus Christ, our Savior."
Oh, what?
And I looked at her. I'm like, way to ruin it.
You're not in our club. You're not in our club.
Way to ruin it. I'm like, okay. Can I also get a quart of half sour pickles and get rid of her because she fucked up? Yeah. Why does everything have to be about God? Why can't there be joy that isn't fine, it works for you. And then I was mad because the gray heart that all these trainers had just scrubbed clean as best they could, just once again clouded over. And I'm like, I need to ride again because I hate somebody again for ruining my moment of, finding joy in the small things. Here I am. I walked in and I was hit by this amazing smell of cinnamon and fresh baked goods.
Donuts,
and I thought, there is joy in this moment. There is deliciousness. There are carbs in this building. There are carbs in this house. There are carbs
in this house. There are carbs in this house.
And that is joy. And I found joy in that until this lady with her mask on wrong said, "And in Jesus Christ, our Savior." And I thought, yo, really? You got to drag me back down to that pit? I don't want to ride again today. Now I have to think nice things, and I have to get back to the cinnamon entrance and the pretzel exit, and I just, why you got to ruin shit for me?
That's a porno that I would watch, with the cinnamon entrance and the pretzel exit.
Yeah, it's, they make the pretzels there, so you get to watch. I'm sure I've stolen the soul of many Amish kids who are not allowed to appear in pictures because they'll lose their soul, but they're rolling out the pretzels and they're crisscrossing them like they do at any Auntie Anne's in a mall, but then they make logs.
Do it with Jesus. Yeah.
They make logs there too. So they'll do cheese and bacon and eggs, and they'll roll that up and they'll put that in the oven, and it's just joy. The cheesesteak one, because we live Philly adjacent. They do cheesesteak. They added crab to one. I'm like, that's the boiled sushi. I am out on that one. But
no, I'm not having that. That's
have, and this is a super treat for my kids. They have an iced coffee milkshake, and if you get the milkshake, they give you a free hot pretzel. If that's not the best combination that has ever been made, I don't know what is.
So lonely for pretzels.
So lonely.
It's really hard. We can't have them. We can't have nice things here. The only ones that you can have are the ones that you make. And honestly, you can't ever make them as good as them. Part of it.
Be careful what you wish for, because I will send your ass some pretzels from Philly Pretzel Company.
Please. No. Part of it is the New York pizza dilemma in that it's the water. It's not only the location and the skill and the
technique,
generations of people being there and all of the ingredients. It's physically the water, right? It's very difficult to replicate. It is like any other artisanal product. Pretzels are no fucking joke, man. It's a loss for us.
We've all been carb good in this house. We've been really good about limiting what we're eating.
Sounds like a caveman. Carb good.
Carb bad. So New Year's Eve came around, and I told you Ethan went to a friend's basement where he sat with 2 other boys with masks on for like an hour and a half. He's like, "This is fucking stupid. I'm out of here. I could play one of my stupid games on my computer with you without a mask on and yell and say the things I want to say without having your parents upstairs with us, whatever." So but you can't go there empty-handed. So we went to the Philadelphia Pretzel Company. We backed in. We lifted the trunk, and they put in this box of like 50.
Oh God!
And because they're all made on a sheet, they're all like attached together, and the middle is the super soft part, and the edge. So so
we call that a batch bake.
Well, that's exactly what we pulled away with. I said, "How did you drive home with that smell in the car?" He's like, "I'll tell you right now, there are not still 50 pretzels in the back of my car." I'm like, "Well, how did you reach it back there?" He said, "Well, there's a will, there's a way." So, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, carbs. They say that sugar, caffeine, sugar, these are all addictions that you'd have to. Carbs, I mean, I guess that's a complex sugar, but oh my God, I could look at the inside of a pretzel and know exactly how it feels on the tip of my tongue and know exactly how it will melt in my mouth. And now I'm going to go send my son to go get pretzels.
I'm very lonely for pretzels.
See, you said that with pistachios last time, and I sent them to you. Oh my God, how about our mail?
I forgot to tell you, thank you. And I received the box. I think it arrived on Friday.
That's almost 3 weeks. Like, that's absolutely batshit crazy that I sent you a
Louis
package.
DeJoy. That's right. It's ridiculous. It's dead chickens in the mail. That's what it is. So I got my fantastic knit cap, knit by Melissa.
Yeah. I sent Amy a package. We talked about pistachios and how we absolutely love not doing the work of opening pistachios and the joy that Costco gives you when they already open them and dip them in salt and then shove them in your pie hole.
And salt them and bag them and ship them and eat them and eat them and eat them and eat them. So she put in also some special high dollar chocolate drops in there as well, which my kids have been coveting, but I hit those. I have made with the pistachios.
Yeah.
And then I feel like I maybe took photographs or maybe I forgot.
It doesn't sound like you.
I made little truffles 2 ways. So I made something called I was attempting to make Tunisian flowers, which I ended up doing a riff on them, and instead I just made a regular truffle. So I took marzipan and rolled it in crushed, chopped, shelled pistachios, and then coated it in egg white, rolled it in that, and then baked it for a little bit, so that when you bite into it, it kind of works like a cookie that's been dusted on the outside with this delectable, salty, crunchy, bright green. And then the other one is I took those same marzipan truffle-sized balls, rolled them in the egg whites, and then I stuck I cut the pistachios in half. So they're bright green, because you know how when they get roasted and salted, they turn a little bit dark.
But the inside,
they're bright green. And I stuck them in, so it was like studded all the way around. So it looked like, a little...
Like a little COVID?
A little bit. So, and the idea was that you're supposed to do this with so many of them that when it baked, it would end up looking like this kind of like a little flower and just delightful and delicious. And when mine baked, somehow they ended up looking like the guy with the ring through his nose and it carries the ball and chain, the giant orc who's like it looked like a big flesh ball with some spiky sticks in it. And it didn't, it's like a bad Star Wars visitor to the cantina. Delicious. It was the same as the other one, just uglier. So I ate those quickly, and then the other ones I left out, and then other people ate them quickly. We don't have any left, but they were very good and so delightful now. And I'm also going to make some fancy pants brittle with the pistachios, which is going to be delicious. So
Stuart will go and
brittle,
get
it's pistachio brittle, and I might throw in some macadamia nuts, but it's going to be fantastic.
Stuart will go and buy like 3 bags. We go through those bags pretty quickly. They are a staple. A handful as you walk through the kitchen every day.
So good. And thank you.
Of course. Good. I really just can't believe how long it took to get there. I'm really just shocked by a system that was amazing as I grew up, the mail system, which is now like a relic. It doesn't even exist anymore. There's only private delivery services and Amazon. There's only really private. It's crazy that, my kids' children won't know what the postal service is. Or
it'll come back. It absolutely will come back. Because it's a service that's required, like roads, street lights. It's a public service. It was not a business. It was a service, the postal service, and it's designed to fulfill a need. And then it has been crippled and hobbled for more than just this administration, but most notably in this administration,
intentionally.
So all of that stuff has got to be.
Dear listeners, there's something in our society that you've watched besides morals, ethics, and all that stuff, downward spiral, that you're hoping will take a turnaround in your lifetime. That might not be what you want to talk to us about this week. What you might want to share is a Karen moment that you had, or something nice you tried to do, or that didn't work out the way you wanted it to, or a piece of mail that you got recently that was mailed last month when you have a Christmas card arrive wicked late. You can contact us by email, brilliantobservations@gmail.com. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter @ListenBrilliant. You can find us on Facebook if you go to Brilliant Observations and join our tiny group in there, Brillobs Squad. I'd like to say tiny group, but it's getting bigger because of listeners like you. We're so grateful for you. Please keep listening. Share us with a friend. And I also want to tell you, if you would like to support us in any way, make checks directly to me and ship them to. No, we have a t-shirt t-shirt collection that we have on TeePublic, TeePublic, .com, and you can go there and be kind of a bitch. We are making sales there, as well as our Patreon page. We would love to connect with you and feel as appreciated as we are of you. So thanks for listening.
We'll see you here next week, assuming that the world keeps spinning.
You're right.
Bye. Bye.